Today I am celebrating Valentine's because I am a hopeless romantic. Even after the dissolution of 2 marriages and having suffered some major kickings and heartbreaks over the time of my life, I am still an incurable romantic. Why is that? It beggars belief, it defies explanation. Am I just a sucker for punishment? It seems to me, though, that there is something profound in the human heart that seeks connection, that seeks companionship. They say that no man is an island, and like lots of glib cliches, you can find contradictory cliches to oppose it. And yet, it seems to me that human beings have only ever survived in community. The number of genuine hermits that we can find evidence of in this world are very, very few. It's impossible, nearly impossible, for human beings to exist in isolation to each other. And even though I spent a significant amount of my time exploring the ideas of polyamory and even the practice of it for some time, in really doing all that I could to do it in total honesty and transparency and with full integrity, it seems to me that there's some longing in the human heart to find people whose connection with will endure no matter what. As people who are receptive to our desire to touch and be touched. You know, I've sometimes asserted that 2 is too much. To be just one and one other person is too much pressure for any human being to endure. That the pressures of the romantic ideals we place on ourselves in the modern world are just unrealistic. You know, in the past, marriage was more of a formal enterprise that was engaged with in order to provide for women and children, specifically children, and that people would carry on their affairs and their sexual lives outside of the marriage. And so nowadays, when we look to a companion on Valentine's Day, we're often looking to them to be our sexual partner, a parenting partner, a friend, a confidant, and it's too much pressure. And I think that that's what's led to the nuclear meltdowns of the nuclear family. That 2 is too much. It's just so much pressure to put so much expectation on a single individual. And yet, with all that said, maybe it's because we're so isolated from genuine community that there's still this longing for another person that I can cling to. Maybe that's the sort of the shadow side of that romanticism, that we wish that another person could protect us or substitute the lack of community in our lives. I'm not entirely clear on this. I'm just sharing my thoughts, as I always do, on this day, Valentine's Day, because it's rare, I think, that people, I've rarely heard people share such ideas in relation to an event that is often derided as just being a marketing venture and having no greater significance for human beings. And I'm someone who's got quite a, gag reflex to marketing and advertising, and yet that incurable romantic in me finds his spirits lifted around Valentine's Day every year. Maybe that just shows that I haven't managed to defeat the naivety, the childlike expectation in myself. But I have a funny feeling that is a battle that I will never win. So today I'm celebrating Valentine's Day.